Move up, get up! Ready! 280! 58! Ready, set! Got it! 280! 280, set! Ready, 280! 125, 25 tonight! Down! Ready! 125! 280 tonight! Ready, 280! 25 tonight! Ready! Ready to go! Ready! 280! 280, sit on it! Ready, 280! 280! 280, sit on! Ready! 280! 280, sit on it! Ready! 280! 125 tonight! Ready! 120, 280 tonight! Ready, 280! Ready to go! Ready! 280! All right, 25 tonight! Ready! 280! 280 tonight! Ready, 280! 280! All right, 25 tonight! Down! Ready! 280! 280 set! Ready, 280! White! 280 set! 59, ready! 280 set! Ready! 280 set! Ready, 280! 280! Get up! Ready! 125! 280 set! Ready! 125!
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Right, 315. Check. Right there. Let's go,
Now Wilson on first down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Brings up second and 9 at the 34-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. This is Jennings. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On third down, Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. From Falcon territory now, here's first and 10 at the 47. They run it with Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so, wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Well, they try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Corey Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now the extra point. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. midfield now. Here's Ryan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Go! Ready! You ready?
They'll run on first down. Grant, he is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Jumper. Hey, white.
Here's Grant. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where it came from.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Base. That's me. 51, Tom. Ready, Tom.
From the gun, it's Ryan. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson throwing again. Completes it to Jennings. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Check 43.
This is Carson. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, defense. Man up, deep. Man up, deep.
From the 25 on second down, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And an alley to run. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
We got it, we got it. Reload. Whip. Watch the whip.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Alert. Watch the screen. 14, got it.
Check, 53.
To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Myers able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now 3rd and 5.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Double count right here. Double count. Go, go, go. Good, good.
43's a mark, boy. 43.
Good.
Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Grady Jarrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So on fourth down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. They will run with Grant. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On second down, it's Grant. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way.
SOS. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Check that.
From the shotgun, Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Wilson operating from the gun. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Operating from the gun. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. In for the sack, Deion Jones. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Tight end right.
From the gun, Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
97's the mic. 97's the mic.
Here we go. Zoom.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the check.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Caught by Cobb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wilson. Flushed out right. And the pressure gets to him again.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 43 is the mark. 43 is the mark.
Now Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score Falcons 24, Seahawks 3.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 in the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Watch the pass.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Dancing to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Fight, 280.
Mark 43. Watch the run. Watch the run.
280.
To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. Returnable for Grant. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 47-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the 2nd half.
and it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Grant. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27.
Hey. 4 down.
Now Ryan. Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Jakeem Grant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Watch out.
From the 24, Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, You feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Check safety, check safety.
Hey,
On first down, Grant, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Corey Grant with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
43 is the mic. Hey, that QB's trash.
And here's Wilson on third down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Seahawks first down.
Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Operating from the gun, Wilson. This is Cobb with a catch right side. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10.
He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
43. Check, 43. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Alert. 43 is the mic.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Escaping the pressure right. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
To throw is Wilson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Foot, 43. Check, 43.
Come on. You better.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11.
3 bucks.
Now Wilson. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Block that.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, of course, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Buying time to his left. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. Forced out to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, it's Grant, and he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Well, they're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken inside his own 40.
Let's go. Let's do this.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Falcons, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.